The kingdom of my divine will in the midst of creatures. Book of Heaven, Volume 34, Part 7. December 24th, 1936. The Celestial and Divine Mother and the Human Mother. Fast race of love of God, in which He makes this Mother, by virtue of the Fiat, generate her Jesus in each creature. Continuing the same topic on the Most Holy Virgin. A light descending from the bosom of the Eternal One invests my poor mind. But it is a speaking light, speaking so many things about the Celestial Sovereign that I don't know how to be able to repeat them all. But my beloved Jesus, with his usual goodness, says to me, "Courage, my daughter, I will help you. I will administer to you the words." I feel the irresistible need to make known who this mother of mine is, the qualities, the privileges, and the great good that she does and can do to all generations. Therefore listen to me, and I will tell you things never before thought of, either by you or by others, such as to stir the most incredulous, ungrateful, and sinful ones. I will tell you to what extent our love can reach. Well then, our love gave itself no peace. It ran and ran, but with such rapidity as to engage the whole of our divine being into giving unto such excesses as to astound heaven and earth, and make all exclaim, "How is it possible that a God has loved the creatures so much?" And so listen, my daughter, to what our great love does. The creatures had a celestial Father, but our love was not content. In its delirium and folly of love, it wanted to form for them a celestial mother and a terrestrial mother, so that, if the cares, love, and tendernesses of the celestial paternity should not be enough for them in order to love him, the love and unspeakable tendernesses of this celestial and human mother would be the link of connection, which, banishing any distance, fear, or apprehension, would make them abandon themselves in her arms, to let themselves be conquered by her love, so as to love he who had formed her for love of them, and in order to be loved. Therefore, the most astounding portents were needed, and a love that never says enough, and that only a God can do. In order to obtain this intent, listen now to what it does. We called out of nothing this holy creature, and making use of the same seed of the human generations, though purified, we gave her life. From the first instant of this life, the celestial virtue of our divine Fiat united to it, and together with it, it formed divine life and human life. It raised her divinely and humanly, and sharing with her the divine fecundity, it formed in her the great prodigy of being able to conceive a man and God. With the human seed, she was able to form the humanity of the incarnate Word, and with the seed of the Fiat, she could conceive the divine Word. With this, any distance ceased between God and man. By being human and celestial, this virgin brought man and God closer, and gave the brother to all of her children, whom they could all approach and live life together. And seeing in him and in her the same guises, invested by the same human nature, they would have such trust and love as to let themselves be conquered, and love she who so much loved them. How much love does a good mother not win from her children? More so since she was powerful, rich, and would lay down her life in order to rescue her children. And what did she not do to render them happy and holy? So the humanity of the Word and the Mother, celestial and human, are like pledges in order to conquer the love of all, and tell them with all love, do not fear, come to us. We are like you in everything. Come, and we will give you everything. My arms will always be ready to embrace you, and in order to defend you, I will keep you enclosed inside my heart to give you everything. It is enough to tell you that I am your mother, and that my love is so great that I keep you conceived inside my heart. But all this is nothing yet. I was God. I was to operate as God. Our love kept running and running, and went on inventing new devices of love, yet more excessive. You yourself will remain stupefied in hearing them, and when the human generations will hear them, they will love us so much as to repay us, for the most part, for the great race of our love. Now, pay attention to me, and thank me, my blessed daughter, for what I am about to tell you. For our love, it was not enough, as I said before, that by virtue of our fiat all be conceived in the heart of this Virgin, to have the true maternity, not by words, but by deeds. Nor was it enough that she be conceived in each creature, so that each one might have a mother all for himself, and have the full right and possession, all being her children. Now, our love moved on to another excess. First, you must know that this celestial queen, by possessing all the fullness of our divine fiat, which possesses by its own nature the generative and bilocating virtue, together with the divine fiat, she can generate and bilocate her Son God as many times as she wants. And so our love imposes itself on this celestial creature, and delirious, by virtue of my fiat that she possessed, gives her the power to generate her Jesus in each creature. She makes him be born. She nurtures him. She does for the creature everything that is needed in order to form the dear life of her dear Son. She makes up for all that the creature does not do for him. If he cries, she dries his tears. If he is cold, she warms him. If he suffers, she suffers together with him. And while she mothers and raises him, she mothers and raises the creature. It can be said that she raises them together. She loves them with one single love. She guides them, nourishes them, clothes them. and with her maternal arms she forms two wings of light, and covering them, she hides them inside her heart to give them the most beautiful rest. Therefore, it was not enough for our love that the Word would incarnate himself in order to generate one single Jesus for all, and give one single mother to all the human generations. No, no, our love would not have been excessive. Its race was so fast as to find no one to stop it, and only when, with its power, it generated this mother in each soul, and let her generate her Jesus, so that each one would have mother and son at his disposal. Then did it somehow calm down. Oh, how beautiful it is to see this celestial mother, all love and all intent in each creature, on generating her Jesus, in order to form a portent of love and of grace. And this is the greatest honor and glory that her Creator has given her, and the strongest love that God could give to creatures. Nor should anyone be marveled. Our Fiat can do anything, and can reach anywhere. Everything is in its wanting it so. If it does want it, it is already done. Rather, the marvel should be in knowing unto what excesses our love toward man carried us. Fiat. December 28th, 1936. The Celestial Heiress. How she calls her children to inherit her goods. How she reaches the point of endowing souls with her maternal love, in order to form more mammas to Jesus. Continuing with the same topic, I was concerned about what is written above, and was saying to myself, is it possible? All this excessive chain of love that seems to never end. I know that our Lord can do anything, but getting to this point, up to making this celestial mother descend from the height of her sanctity into the depth of our souls, and nurture us like most tender children of hers? And not only this, but for her to generate her son Jesus, and raise us together with him. This seems incredible. And even though I felt my heart split with love and joy, more so since I felt her inside of me, concealed within her light, nurturing me as her daughter with an unspeakable love, and together with me nurturing her dear son, yet I felt I shouldn't speak of it, or write it, also so as not to stir up difficulties and doubts. But my dear Jesus, assuming an imposing look, such that I could not resist him, told me, "My daughter, I want you to write what I told you. In what I told you, there are seas of love, by which the creatures will be invested, and I do not want to be suffocated. Therefore, if you don't write, I will withdraw. Have you forgotten that I must win man by dint of love, but a love such that he will find it hard to resist us?" Immediately I said Fiat, and my beloved Jesus, assuming his usual sweet and lovable appearance, with such love that I felt my heart crack, added, "My blessed daughter, There is nothing to doubt. My being is all love. And when it seems that I have given unto such excesses of love as to be unable to show any more excesses of love, as though starting anew, I come up with more and new excesses of love, more devices, as to surpass, oh, how greatly, the other excesses of love. Now listen, my daughter, and you will be convinced of what I am telling you. Adam, by sinning, caused all human generations to inherit all evils, and having gone out of the beautiful inheritance of the divine will, in which he lived in the opulence, lavishness, and sumptuousness of the goods of his Creator, he lost the right to our goods, and with him all his descendants. But these goods were not destroyed. They exist and will exist. And when a good is not destroyed, there is always the certainty that someone will come who will have the good of possessing it. Now, the great Queen began her life within the inheritance of this divine will, and with such abundance that she felt drowned in the goods of her Creator, but so much that she can render all other creatures happy and rich. Now, in this inheritance of the Fiat, she inherited the fecundity, the maternity, human and divine. She inherited the word of the Celestial Father. She inherited all human generations, and these will inherit all the goods of this Celestial Mother. Therefore, as her heirs, and as their mother, she has the right to generate her children in her maternal heart. But this was not enough to our love and to hers. She wanted to generate in each creature, and since she is the heiress of the divine word, she has the power to have him generated in each of them. How? If evils, passions, weaknesses can be inherited, why should it not be possible to inherit the goods? And this is why the celestial heiress wants to make known the inheritance that she wants to give to her children. She wants to give her maternity to the creatures, so that as she generates him, they may act as mammas to him, and may love him as she loved him. She wants to form as many mammas for her Jesus, in order to place him in safety, and so that no one may offend him any more. In fact, the love of mother is so very different from the other loves. It is a love that burns always, a love that lays down its life for its dear son. See, she wants to endow the creature with her maternal love, and make them heirs of her own son. Oh, how honored she will feel in seeing that the creatures love her Jesus with her same love of mother. You must know that her love toward me and toward creatures is so great that, unable to contain it any longer, she prayed me to manifest to you what I have told you, her great inheritance, that she is waiting for her heirs, and what she can do for them, saying to me, "My son, do not wait any longer. Hurry, manifest my great inheritance and what I can do for them. I feel more honored, more glorified, if you yourself reveal what your mamma can do, than if I said it myself. However, all this will have its full effect, its palpitating life of this sovereign lady, when my will is known, and the creatures, within the inheritance of their mother, will take possession of it. Then afterwards my sweet Jesus gave me a kiss, telling me, through the kiss one communicates the breath. And this is why I wanted to kiss you, to communicate by my omnipotent breath the certainty of the goods and the great prodigy that my mother will make for the human generations. My kiss is confirmation of what I want to do. I remained surprised, and he added, and you, give me your kiss, to receive the deposit of all these goods, and to reconfirm your will in mine. If there is no one who gives and who receives, a good can neither be formed, nor can it be possessed. Fiat. January 1st, 1937. The feast that the Queen of Heaven prepared for her Son Jesus at his birth. How love is a magnet that transforms and embellishes. I was thinking of the incarnation of the Word and the excesses of love of the divinity that seemed like seas, which enveloping all creatures, wanted to make them feel how much they loved them, to be loved in return, and investing them inside and out, they murmured continuously, without ever ceasing, love, love, love. Love do we give, and love do we want. And our celestial mother, feeling wounded by the continuous cry of the Eternal One, giving love and wanting love, appeared all attentive in requiting her dear Son, the incarnate Word, by forming herself a surprise of love. Now, at that moment, the celestial infant came out of the maternal womb, and oh, how I longed for him! And he, throwing himself into my arms, all festive, told me, "My daughter, see, my mamma prepared for me the feast at my birth. But do you know how? She was aware of the seas of love that were coming down from heaven in the descent of the eternal Word. She heard the continuous cry of God, wanting to be loved in return, and our yearnings, our ardent sighs. She had felt my moans inside her womb. Often she heard me cry and sob. Each of my moans was a sea of love that I sent to each heart in order to be loved back. And in seeing myself unloved, I cried unto bursting into sobs. But each tear and sob doubled my seas of love in order to win the creatures by dint of love. But no, they would convert these seas into pains, while I made use of the pains in order to convert them into yet more seas of love, for as many pains as they gave me. Now my mamma wanted to make me smile upon my being born, and prepare the feast for her baby son. She knew that I cannot smile if I am not loved, nor can I take part in any feast if love does not run in it. Therefore, loving me as true mother, and possessing by virtue of my fiat seas of love, queen as she was of all creation, she enveloped the heavens with her love, and sealed each star with the I love you, O sun, for myself and for all. She enwrapped the sun with her sea of love, and impressed in each drop of light her I love you, O sun. And she called the sun to invest its creator with its light, so that being warmed, he might feel in each drop of light the I love you of his mamma. She invested the wind with her love, and in each breath of it she impressed the I love you, O sun. And then she called it, so that it may caress him with its breeze, and make him feel in each blowing of its breath, I love you, O my son. She enveloped all the air within her seas of love, so that in breathing he might feel the breath of love of his mother. She covered the whole of the sea with her sea of love, and each dart of the fish. And the sea murmured, I love you, O my son. And the fish darted, I love you, I love you. There was nothing she did not invest with her love, and with her empire of queen she commanded all to receive her love, to give back to her Jesus the love of his mamma. So each bird, some trilled love, some twittered, some warbled love. Even each atom of the earth was invested by her love. The breath of the animals reached me with the I love you of my mother, and the hay was invested by her love. Therefore there was not one thing that I saw or touched in which I would not feel the sweetness of her love. With this she prepared for me the most beautiful feast upon my birth, a feast all of love. It was the requital of my great love that my sweet mother made me find, and it was her love that calmed my crying, warmed me while I was numb with cold in the manger. More so, since I found in her love the love of all creatures, and for each of them she kissed me, clasped me to her heart, and loved me with love of mother on behalf of her children. And I, feeling in each of them her maternal love, was drawn to love them as children of hers, and as dear brothers of mine. My daughter, what can the love animated by an omnipotent fiat not do? It makes itself magnet, and draws us to each other in an irresistible way. It removes any dissimilarity. With its warmth, it transforms and confirms the creature into the beloved. Then it embellishes her in an incredible way, so much so that heaven and earth feel drawn to love her. Not to love a creature that loves us is impossible for us. The whole of our divine power and strength become powerless and weak before the winning force of one who loves us. Therefore you too give me the feast that my mother gave me upon my birth. Envelop heaven and earth with your I love you, O Jesus. Let nothing escape you in which your love would not run. Make me smile. In fact, I was not born only once, but I am reborn always, and many times my births are without smile and without feast, and only my tears, sobs, and wailings are left to me, and an icy cold that makes me shiver and all my limbs numb. Therefore clasp me to your heart in order to warm me with your love, and with the light of my will form for me the garment to clothe me, so that you too will make feast for me, and I will make it for you by giving you more love and new knowledge of my will. Fiat. You have reached the end of the Book of Heaven, Volume 34, Part 7. Fiat.